Bill Hancock, by the way, the executive director of College Football Playoff, is joining us now. The key question right now, Bill, is your favorite Charlie Angels.
Marianne or Ginger?
That was Gilligan's Island. For some reason,
Marianne guy, by the way.
I'm a Marianne guy all the way.
I was all the way a Marianne
Totally
guy.
Marianne guy. I would go Farrah Fawcett. I mean, how do you not?
I feel
right?
like Bill was probably if he was in the series, he would be Charlie.
Yeah,
that's probably right.
You would be Charlie.
That's probably right.
That's right. You're kind of the Charlie of the football playoffs right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and we can talk about movie stars all you want to. Donna Reed in It's a Wonderful Life. I would marry her. I told my wife. With one problem, I don't think she's still living. But if she were, I told my wife, I'm sorry, you just got to wait. I'm going to marry Donna Reed instead.
Yeah. Whenever stars come out on TV, my wife immediately goes, well, there's your girl, Halle Berry. There's your girl, Jennifer Aniston. So she kind of knows that it's the same thing right there, Bill.
Yeah.
It's just one of those deals. What am I going to do, you know? How about you? Who's that crush for you, Joe?
Well, actually, one of my favorite movies is Casablanca, and I would have taken Humphrey Bogart's place, gladly taken Humphrey Bogart's place in that movie with Ingrid Bergman.
Okay, all right.
We'll always have Birmingham.
Yeah,
that's right. There you go.
Play it again, Sam. Actually, she never said Sam. She only said play it again.
She never said Sam.
Never said Sam. She just said play
never
it again.
said Sam.
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And that's what you said about this whole playoff scenario, right?
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful event.
There you go.
It really couldn't have gone better the first 2 years. We're delighted.
We had it last year at the Orange Bowl, at our stadium, the Orange Bowl game, on New Year's Eve. And there's concern about New Year's Eve, but the game last year in Miami, I just thought it was a great event for us. It felt like the Orange Bowl back in the 70s and the 80s, back when it was the culmination of the bowl season, and we had a stadium that was full. It was electric. I mentioned yesterday, Larry Wall has a great picture in his office, a panoramic picture of the stadium that is filled with orange and Oklahoma crimson. The sun is shining through. It's just a perfect picture worth 1,000 words, I think, for last year's game.
Yeah, it was a great event. You know, the build-up to it was so sensational. And obviously the first half of the game was compelling. Clemson did what they did in the second half, as we all know. But the semifinals, I told Eric Palms, the semifinals will be what the old BCS championship game used to be. And I think we've seen that in the first 2 years, and it's only going to get better. So the semifinals will be back in Miami, 2-3 more years.
Larry, 3 years for the semifinals?
Yep. It's a three-year rotation.
3 years. Yeah.
So 3 years. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It'll be here before we know it.
And Larry and his guys, not because he's here, but they did a great job with it, as they always do.
They did a great job. All the visitors from both Clemson and Oklahoma had a great time. It's such a, you know this, it's a no-brainer, but if you haven't been to Miami, you don't understand what a wonderful, to South Florida, let me say it to be more politically correct, you don't understand what a wonderful destination it is. And if you come from Oklahoma, it's a dream come true. Actually, I grew up in Oklahoma, and I remember watching the Orange Bowl games as a child on television, just being in awe and thinking, oh, I'll never get to go to that. It's on some other planet. It's so wonderful. And here I am. I do get to go.
It doesn't completely fall under the Orange Bowl's umbrella, but we are going to have the Super Bowl in Miami. At the college football championship game, what do you think about that landing in Miami as well? Because we are going to have a new $500 million stadium.
Yeah,
here
you
in
got
about
a new
2 months.
stadium now that's going to be roof and everything. Nobody gets wet now, Bill. It's a beautiful thing.
A wonderful new stadium. I'm a stadium guy, so I really enjoyed following the progress. And Tom Garfinkel kept me posted on everything. It's going to be a fabulous facility. The last round of bidding it was very competitive, and Miami was this close. I guess you can't on radio. You can't put your fingers together to show how close it was. It was very close for Miami. Pretty much lost out to Atlanta with a new stadium. A little more accessibility maybe in Atlanta, but not the destination city that Miami is. Miami will be in the hunt for this. I think Miami people need to keep in mind that they do have the semifinals on a regular basis,
right. Yeah.
and it's a great opportunity. But I also know that they would love to have the championship game.
That is a good point, because if they get the championship game, they still have an Orange Bowl game. So, right, I mean, you would have the Orange Bowl game on December 30th, and the championship game a week later, or in that area. So it'd be because the championship game does not replace the Orange Bowl game.
Yeah, it's a new game, separate game, and
right.
Actually we would not have the championship game in the city the same year that they're hosting the semifinals.
Right, but they would host the Orange Bowl, New Year's 6th,
whatever.
Right.
New Year's, the Orange Bowl would be either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Right.
And then the champ game would be, if they get it, would be a week later.
But we would have 2 games in our city.
Yeah, 2 significant games.
Right.
Now, Bill, I got to ask you, and Bill Hancock, by the way, Executive Director of College Football Playoff, is joining us here on the show. Clarify this for me, because there were some reports out there that said that because of the 4 screens that they've now added in the stadium on each corner, they eliminated about, I think it was 10 to 15,000 seats, and that may hurt them going after the bowl games and the Super Bowl. So can you clarify that?
Yeah,
is that accurate or not?
Not a factor for us. They still meet our standard, which is 65,000.
Okay. All right.
So I'll tell you, we did have a challenge with the stadium, with the one side being the premium seats that they are.
Oh yeah,
which is terrific, but we had to jigger our school seating assignments. We used to have them catty-cornered across from each other, and we do in the other stadiums. But in Miami, because of the premium seats on the one side, now the teams for us are together. So their fans, Clemson fans and Oklahoma fans, were side by side on that one side, and actually it worked out fine.
Yeah.
We were very nervous about it, didn't know how it was going to come off, and worked out fine. And then one team bench has the opposing fans behind it. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember who had that side this year. I think it was Oklahoma, but it was not a factor.
It did have the college feel, which I think you want to be able to maintain. You don't want to have a complete corporate feel for the college, because college, what separates the college game from the pro game is the pageantry.
Yep, and we did maintain that. And I'll tell you, when the championship game comes, people will see it is a remarkable feel in the stadium, because 98% of the fans care about one of the teams. And even the people who get their tickets from their company, those tickets get into the hands of Clemson or Alabama fans
that work for those companies.
Yeah, and it's in that way it's way different from Super Bowl, way different from Final Four. I do have to go back on Super Bowl, though. There are lots of passionate fans at the Super Bowl.
Oh, sure.
People get the wrong idea about the Super Bowl. They say it's a corporate event. The stadium's full of corporate people.
Probably in the suites it's more corporate, but in the stands itself, it's probably more fans.
It's pretty electric in the Super Bowl also, so they kind of get a bum rap on that. But ours is fantastic and very special. We were determined to make it a college event when we started. That was on our bucket list, our checklist of things. Keep it in higher education, and keep it a college event. We knew we were going to iconic professional football stadiums, NFL stadiums, but we knew we had to keep it with a college feel. So you do that with decor, you do that with marching bands at halftime, and you do that with giving the team's fans the best seats that you can. And we succeeded. It's a great atmosphere.
Bill, obviously it's still 4, but I mean, are there any tweaks, anything in the presentation that you guys are going to do this year or anything like that?
No, we gave it every year we give it a thorough evaluation after the season, and I mean soup to nuts, everything. And we came out that there's a few little things that we probably learned, but most fans would not notice. And in particular with the selection committee protocol and their procedures, we didn't make any changes at all. In the BCS days, we changed too many things.
Yeah.
We were trying to get it better.
Almost every year.
Almost every year.
Yeah.
Almost every year. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that. And because it led people to not understand how it works. And the changes in the BCS days were all well-intentioned. We were trying to do the right thing, but it wasn't. At the end of the day, it wasn't the right.
It certainly stirred it up a lot. This doesn't stir it up nearly as much because we're getting it closer to being perfect almost. You know what I mean? I think the next step is expanding it, maybe. That's about the only other thing that people can think of. But at least right now, we're more satisfied with the end result than we ever have been in college football.
Yeah, fans love this event.
You brought college football's main event, for the most part, back to New Year's Day. For New Year's. That's when college football was decided on January the 1st. However, you do have to play your semifinal games. You've run into some dates with the NFL, so you are committed to New Year's Eve for the next several years, correct? And
yeah.
We are. The question is, television ratings, New Year's Eve versus New Year's Day, but you've stayed committed to either New Year's, and not January 2nd either when that's available, but to New Year's Eve. Why are you staying committed to New Year's Eve?
We did see a viewership decline this year over the first year, and you try to hold your constants when you're dealing with viewership, and we know that one big difference, of course, was that we did play the semifinals on New Year's Eve. We will be on New Year's Eve this year. We'll be on New Year's Day next year, the year after that. And for year 5 and 6 of the playoff, actually, we are considering whether to move off of New Year's Eve. A lot of factors have to go into that. We don't have to be in a rush. We're going to make the right decision.
And you're going to find out what happens this year, right?
We're going to take our time. We probably will be able to wait till this year, although we may make the decision before this year.
Oh, okay.
This year being on a Saturday will be different. Obviously, Saturday, college football day, not as many people are working, so it'll be different. But we're going to take our time and make the right decision.
There you go. Executive Director of College Football Playoff, Bill Hancock, joining us here. Bill, as always, thank you for your yearly meeting with us here. We always appreciate it. And
people could follow my plan last year, Bill, for the game on New Year's Eve. I went to the Orange Bowl game, and while I was at the Orange Bowl game, I had my daughter go down to Joe's Stone Crabs and get us the stone crabs, because takeout on New Year's Eve is the best trick or the best idea.
Yes.
Because New Year's Eve, can be amateur hour.
Right, yeah.
So you get the takeout from Joe's Stone Crab. So when I got home, all the stone crabs were there, and then I watched the Alabama-Michigan State game.
He's got the plan.
Perfect.
That's a
The
good
only
plan.
thing I would have added to that would have been some of Joe's key lime pie.
Oh, we had that too. But I don't miss a beat, Bill. And the coleslaw. I don't miss
And the
anything.
coleslaw. The coleslaw is vastly underrated.
I'm a veteran, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
No rookie mistakes.
There you go.
Take care.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.